Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Doc is our doctor. He writes out all of our scripts. He gives us our medicine in our room. We are live. It's the Cream City crossover. 127-120. The Milwaukee Bucks beat the Detroit Pistons in overtime. School Trey Crosby III.
Chris King.
Yeah, we in the building. I'm fired up about this one, Chris King.
Yes,
I'm fired up about this one, Chris King. This is what we needed. This is Milwaukee. If you don't like that, you don't like Milwaukee Bucks basketball. That's what I wanted to see. 127-120 overtime dubs over Detroit basketball. That's what I'm talking about, Chris King. Justin's going to join us in a few here. We're going to have no JT tonight, back-to-back, load management rest, man. We got to get him. He on the Joel Embiid, but that's all right. That's all right. We all. There's nothing that could destroy my mood on a night like this. A 127-120 victory in overtime, man. Wow, what a game! This team found everything that you want them to find. It's about time. It's about time. And again, you think it's just a what's tonight? It's Wednesday night, Chris. It's a random Wednesday night in the association, day after the NBA Cup, all that. But man. The Milwaukee Bucks, this looked like a ho-hum game starting. This looked like it was going to be another, it looked like it was a Wednesday night. It looked like there was some action going on tonight, right? It looked like it was just an action game, just random Wednesday night, playing basketball. And this thing turned all the way up, man. Get at us in the chat on the YouTube. We'll look at your stuff from the YouTube. We'll get to your comments on the Twitter. Everything's already blowing up at TCIIESQ. Man, let's do it. Let's do this game recap. 127-120, a final in overtime. If you were in 5-star form, let us know in the chat. But if you were in 5-star form, you were treated to a masterpiece tonight. You were treated to a masterclass tonight by the one, the only, the Greek freak Giannis Antetokounmpo. This was the highest scoring game in the association this year. If you were in 5-star form, you've now seen the highest scoring game in the NBA this year. 59 of them things from Giannis. 14 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. 21 of 34, 61% from the field, 1 or 2 from 3. That's 50% if you got your math goggles on. And you know what else he shot, Chris King? 16 of 17 from the line.
Hey, man. Hey,
94%.
give it up.
Give it all the way up. That's basketball. Like that is, and he hit you from, and the crazy thing about it, I'm looking at the plus minus. Giannis was an even. He was a 0 on the plus. He did all of that and is dead even plus minus. It was a masterclass from start to finish. Literally, Chris King. I know you were at the. I joke about the Masters. Chris King was at the started the night off and who was Kent State.
Kent State at Miami University. Yep.
At Miami, so he missed some of the early parts of the game here. But the first quarter starts with, Chris King. The Bucks had 24 points in the first quarter. Giannis had 22. I'm not joking.
I saw that stat. Yeah, I'm like, how does that happen?
It was like I'm not joking. It was. I said this before the show started, and I said it on Twitter. It was like high school. It was like if you put Giannis on a high school team and just watched him go to work. Like everybody just gave the ball to Giannis to get out the way and just look at him do what he does. And again, it was highly efficient. It wasn't like Giannis just jacking up shots. This was a highly efficient night from Giannis Antetokounmpo. Again, 59 points, 43 minutes. How about Taurean Prince? 15 points, 10 boards, 3 assists, 6 of 16 from the field. He was 3 of 8 from 3. How about Brook Lopez? When the last time Brook Lopez 29 and 8, turning back the hands of time? A 9 of 17, 5 of 8 from 3. Had a bunch of decent big time 3 points. But how about a huge 3-pointer in overtime? Where Giannis, I think, blocks a shot, blocks an alley-oop attempt, reminded you of the valley-oop. No, not the valley, but the play. I guess there was another. That was the play before that, where Giannis blocks the alley-oop from. That was a game before that, actually, where Giannis blocks the alley-oop from DeAndre Ayton, try to get DeAndre Ayton. Giannis blocks that, but turns back around, gets the ball, pops it right to Brook Lopez. It's funny because I'm listening to Marcus Johnson on the broadcast, like, slow up, get your shot. He flips it to Brook, and Brook's 30 feet out and says, I'm pulling. and he hit it. AJ Green tonight, 3 points, 1 of 5. Rough night from him. He started the game 20 minutes and didn't. And I got to give credit to Doc Rivers tonight. I got to give some credit to Doc Rivers because Doc Rivers tonight made moves. Like, he made adjustments. AJ Green started the game, but Gary Trent Jr. finished the game because Gary Trent Jr. played so well. DeLon Wright, I don't think nothing left for him. He just ass. He's a 2-pack ass. I'm sorry. Everything in the night was great. DeLon Wright's 2-pack ass. Pat Connaughton, 6 points tonight. Andre Jackson Jr., 4 points. Great defense on Cade Cunningham tonight. Andre Jackson Jr. And then Gary Trent Jr., he found himself in the third quarter. He found himself 11 points, 4 rebounds tonight. Nobody else played. So the Bucks played 8 on a back-to-back. The Milwaukee Bucks played 8 guys. Again, Damian Lillard was out. Before the game, we realized that Bobby Portis was out. Obviously, Chris Middleton's out. Ryan Rollins, who had messed up his shoulder the game before, he was out. So the Bucks were severely limited. Detroit was as well. Ron Holland. What a bum. What a bum. I'm sorry, he's a rookie. But you can't. He came in the game shooting like 90% from the free throw line. And again, what did it say? What did it say, Chris King? Ball don't lie. Ball don't lie. They call it a fake. We'll talk about it. They call it this one of the fakest.
Hey, he was so shook, Trey. You could see it in his eyes. You could see it in that man's eyes. He didn't want no parts of those free throws, and I loved it. I love what Fiserv brung to those free throw attempts because he was shaking. He wasn't ready for it, and it don't matter what you shoot. You got to make one of them, and he couldn't do it.
All he had to do was make one. All he had to do was make one, and he couldn't do it.
No timeouts from the Bucks. We had no timeouts.
Exactly. And I'm looking at the replay. This just was not a foul, but we'll get to that. Excuse me, my stuff went away. So Ron Holland, 11 points, 4 rebounds. Tobias Harris, 10 points, 8 boards, 5 assists. Former Buck. Jalen Duren, 9 points, 9 rebounds. You know who played very well tonight was your boy Malik Beasley, 26 and 10. He was 9 of 17. 8 of 16 from 3. He shot the ball well. He was doing the shimmy. He was, all up in everywhere, doing his thing. Cade Cunningham did have 35 and 11, but again, I thought it was great defense from Ajax for a majority of that game. Isaiah Stewart, 9 points. Oh, Isaiah Stewart, and he was kicked out. What a bum, Isaiah Stewart. That was one of the wackest things I've seen in quite some time. He's not known for anything in the NBA, but the last thing I remember was he was chasing down LeBron. All it does is, he's just I think you said he's a menace. He's literally a menace in the NBA. And what he did, in the third quarter, he pulls down Giannis by his jersey. Pulls down Giannis, flagrant 2, kicked out of the game. He should serve a suspension. That's what he should be suspended for at least a game. Marcus Sasser hit a huge 3 in the fourth quarter. Today, I mean, it's one of those things. It's like, man, like, how does this game? There's just so much to talk about. Paul Reed didn't score, but I'll go a little bit on what I saw. Again, when you start the first quarter, this game was going to be a ho-hum game where, like I said, nothing was happening. The Bucks looked like they were disinterested. There was not much going on. I was not impressed by anything that I saw. Brook Lopez looked the shell of himself. DeLon Wright told you looked like trash. Pat Connaughton was running around. There was nothing good about this game. And then I believe, and remind me if I'm wrong. I see you, Justin. We'll get to you in a second. What's going on, man? But the game changed. The game turned when Isaiah Stewart pulled Giannis down. The only thing that was missing in that moment, and again, now I get on Bobby Portis my fair share, but Bobby Portis was needed in that moment because somebody needed to smack Isaiah Stewart upside the head, and nobody was there to do it. But the game changed. I give credit to the fans in Fiserv. They were loud. That was the first time they were loud all throughout the game. Third quarter, fourth quarter, especially. Bucks are down 17 at one point, the 18 points, whatever it was. And you make your comeback. And again, Giannis is leading the charge throughout. But what did we see? It was Gary Trent Jr. who made his mark. And you had to stick with them long enough. But Gary Trent Jr. found his way, hit some shots, hit some threes. And then again, there's just so much that took place. You look at that in that fourth quarter where the Bucks, I think they got up by 7 with like 5 minutes to go. And then I think you let Cade Cunningham get a 3. And then you have another three. Somebody, I think maybe Malik Beasley's three. And then you get another three that comes in. DeMarcus has a three at the, that he just throws up a prayer and it goes in. And it's like, man, how does that happen? And then you get to, and we're going to talk about it, but then you get to, and then we get to the foul that takes place in the fourth quarter, which was an absolute joke. You go back to the monitor and you look at it, and it's like, dude, there's just no way that an NBA game, I know I'm talking a lot, but there's no way that an NBA game should end on a foul like that. That's ridiculous. Bush League that the refs did. And then you come back in overtime and you call a foul on Brook Lopez. That was also a block. So again, I let it slide down. We're going to talk about all this in a second. But the Bucks, my overarching theme, and then you get into overtime and you have Giannis take over again. He hits a 3 in OT, doing everything. We're going to talk about it, but my overarching theme is this. The Milwaukee Bucks found themselves tonight. And the question is, are you going to take this? Because now you're 4-8. You were staring down the barrel of 3-9, but you end up 4-8. You get this win. The Detroit Pistons should be absolutely upset because Detroit Pistons should have won this basketball game, but they did not. And they let the Milwaukee Bucks climb back in and win the basketball game. And then it shouldn't have gone to overtime, but that had to happen, and the Bucks found a way to finish off there. But the question is, moving forward, is this going to be a stepping stone into the rest of the season? Are you going to take this as a momentum builder and move forward, or is this going to end up as, man, we had a fun game Wednesday night? That's my question. Is how do you react to this when you had everything against you? Your fifth game is 7 nights on a back-to-back. No, Detroit was on a back-to-back too, but you're on a back-to-back, down 17. But you fought and you got to win. So again, this team's not dead yet. They got a lot of fight in them. I'm proud of them tonight, man. Very proud of this basketball team tonight. 127-120. That's what I saw. Chris, what you see?
Yeah, for me, I put in the scroll bar tonight. The Bucks start their first win streak of the season, and that's big stuff. Let's hope, going back to back and winning 2 games in a row for this team felt like it was impossible. And then for the Bucks to also, be a free throw away from losing this one as well, but then coming out and throwing the first punch in overtime, going on that, 8-0 run to start overtime. Look, all I have to say, about damn time. About damn time we got some threes to go down from Brook Lopez. About damn time Giannis shot efficiently from the free throw line, only missed 1. About damn time Gary Trent Jr. showed what he can do on both sides of the floor and knock down shots. It's about damn time that this Bucks team plays to its best ability, even without Dame and Ryan Rollins. We shouldn't use any excuses for this Bucks team dealing with some injuries. This is still a good basketball team on paper and with the talent you have on this squad. And I think they showed that tonight, especially being, trailing in this game in the third quarter and then coming back and then ultimately, like I said, throwing the first punch in OT and closing it out. And that's a big credit to Giannis. I felt like, again, I said this last night, Giannis he's going to be the best player on the floor a lot of the times we play this season. But for him to just continuously show it and continuously get to the rim, get to his spots, flash the midi, he was automatic tonight. And that's what you need from Giannis and this Milwaukee Bucks team. Some other things I saw, look, a lot of people are going to be down on Taurean Prince because he didn't knock down that 3 at the end where they ended up getting that to the foul line with Holland. But look, I was comfortable with what Taurean Prince did towards the end of the game. He missed a layup, but he kept shooting. He kept firing. He knocked down a big 3 at the end that they answered with the Sasser 3. But then he also goes down and he missed a layup, but he goes and gets another layup. So, I love to see the confidence building with this team and these new additions, and hopefully they can keep it up.
Before we get to Justin, want to shout out Jay Stroh with the super chat. Says, I'm too geek tonight. Trey's energy is unmatched right now. Let's go, man. Everybody's got to have this energy. Appreciate you, Jay Stroh. Appreciate the super chat in there. Justin, what you see? Sorry about that.
Oh no, you good, bro. This a hell of a night. This a hell of a night, man. I didn't see anything. I heard it. Shout out to Dave Cade on that radio broadcast. Painted that picture. I damn near drove my car off 85 a couple times with just the tenacity of this game, man. Coming back from Farmville, Virginia, watching the Milwaukee Panthers lose to Longwood. And, man, I tell you one thing, man. I don't got a lot on this, but hell yeah. And I think Can I quote a philosopher? Can I quote a Milwaukee philosopher? Is that okay?
You absolutely can.
In the words of Steve the Stoner, that boy Giannis was out there barking on the boys.
He was, man. It was, I mean, it was a literal masterpiece. It's one of the ones where, like I said, I know that what's the man's name? Dave Cone. What's the name?
Dave Kane.
Dave Kane. Okay, yeah, Dave Kane. I'm sure shout out to the great Ted Davis as well. Ted Davis used to paint a picture as well, one of the best at painting those pictures when you listen on the radio. But Dave Kane, I'm sure he painted a great picture. But it's one of those pictures you're gonna have to turn that back and see some of that. It was insane, man. Everything that happened in that basketball game was, it was a beauty. Like, it was a beauty to see. The Bucks, I mean, again, I won't say they should have lost the game. But I mean, this is a game that a couple of nights ago, you probably lose that game. Like, they did not have a lot to play for, and they had all the excuses in the world to just give it up and say, hey man, it's good. It's Dame not playing, Dame concussion protocol, Bobby out right before the game. They had all the excuses in the world to do that. But they didn't. I do want to go back to for a second before we harp on all the things that Giannis did. I'll read a couple. I'll read a couple more chats here, and then we get to it. Alpha Rookie for 3 says, "Yeah, buddy, lightweight." Midwest Boss TV says, "A win is a win." Jay Stroll back in here says, "I owe Gary Trent Jr. an apology. Buddy showed up. He absolutely did." Todd Merrill says that Giannis is the most games of 50 and 10 in the NBA since the NBA-ABA merger. A couple more here. Thode says, "I hated the offense defense. Ajax changed at the end of the fourth, gave up 2 scoring positions." Thode, I actually like that. That showed me that Doc Rivers was coaching a little bit. And Young City says Giannis is really one of the greatest. But I do want to go back to for a second that foul that took place in the fourth quarter. And Chris, I just want to get, I mean, did you have a feeling, and I wonder what Dave Kane said on the radio too, did you have a feeling that you know, did you have a feeling that the referees, I don't want to say people were against you, but it did feel like that. It felt like the Bucks got some bad calls to end this game at the end of the night. I mean, it really did. I really didn't understand it. And again, it would have been a tragedy if the Milwaukee Bucks had lost that basketball game on those free throws but from Ron Holland. So Chris, I mean, and then, like I said, in the fourth quarter, you had the Brook Lopez block, and I didn't understand how that was a foul either. The Bucks challenged that, and they stayed with the call on that. So I didn't get it. I don't want to say that they were against us, but to me, in that moment, with 1 second left on the clock, there is no possible way you can call a foul. You just can't do it. I mean, and let me say this, unless it's, and it has to be it has to be egregious. And Giannis went up and made a play. Like, at best, it was a bang-bang 50-50. At worst, I think he got all ball, and I didn't think it was a foul at all. So I'm just trying to figure out, how do you even get a foul there? And, I mean, just react. I mean, again, the Bucks lose that game, I'm in a totally different mood right now. I mean, and they should have came down to that, but I just think I didn't understand that.
Changed the momentum of this post-game show completely with those 2 missed free throws. Look, I told you this before the show started, is like, are you guessing out there? Are you just blowing your whistle just because you want to make an impact? Are you guessing that there's going to be a foul? Because on the lob, like, you see Giannis, yes, you might get a little bit of hand, but what do they always say? Hand's a part of the ball, right? Yeah. Like, you see Ron Holland take a hard fall, okay, because he goes up with some wild junk. And Giannis, I think he got all ball and maybe a little bit of hand in there, but, like, it just felt like a guess to me. And these refs were trying to, hey, look at me, I'm out here. Just so you guys know, I'm out here. And, hey, I don't know who was more nervous, me or Ron Holland, when those free throws were going up. Because I couldn't stand another loss, especially like that. But also, man, like I said, Ron Holland he was trembling.
So Dave Kane described it as probably one of the worst foul calls in the history of the NBA. I saw it again when I just cut my TV on. ESPN just went to it. That's not a damn foul. It's not a foul, and I'm tired of it. Giannis get hit harder than that going to the bathroom in the middle of the night by one of his kids. Like, what we talking about here? And that boy, and the thing that Dave Kane quoted, he quoted your boy Rasheed Wallace, "The ball don't lie."
Yeah.
He missed both of them free throws. He damn near airballed the first one. And this kid's a 90% free throw shooter as well. Hey, man, I feel like we may have been playing 8-on-5 from the way that Kane was describing the game today. And we still rose above it. So I'm looking for this win to catapult this team down the line, man. We keep going with this now. We got to. This man, and for all them people, all them Kendrick Perkins and all them other people talking about locker room problems and all this, you don't have a comeback like that if there's locker room problems. If Giannis don't want to be there. Because if he don't want to be there, he not going all out. He went all out on both ends of the floor tonight. And, I mean, the entire effort of the team, the guys cheering on the sideline, you can't make that up. If you don't want to be there, you sitting on your hands and you like, oh, well, that's good. I mean, Jeff Teague talked about it, didn't he, with Brent Forbes when they were in there, and he was like, man, my shoes was on top. We about to go to the crib. So, and that's the type of dysfunctional stuff I don't see on that bench. Maybe I'm wrong, but hey, man, I'm still riding high. I feel like I'm still driving in the car right now.
Well, and then I'll also say to that, too, and we've got some chats that quoted Giannis directly, this is my effing city, right? Like, This is my effing city, showing the Bucks jersey. I don't think that's a guy who's unhappy. I watching Giannis for so many years now and how much he loves Milwaukee, and for him to really kind of make a statement with that as well, and really, I mean, you see the passion leak out through him just watching him, right? Like, when they call that foul, he's over there giving the refs an earful before the free throws are shot. Like, this means something to him, and I'm glad that he's able to tune out the kind of negative media that's surrounding him and negative PR that's surrounding him for a start that's really not been his fault.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah, no. I'm right there with you on all that. It absolutely hasn't, and you know, Giannis has been of everything that's been happening. Giannis has been 100% the bright spot in a Bucks season that hasn't gone well. My dad was at the game, and he sent me a text that said Malik Beasley, and he saw another guy who was cheering as hard as you could cheer. It looked like it was Game 6 for him. Was Brandon Jennings, who was courtside. He said, my dad said Beasley looked at Brandon Jennings just before the end of regulation and called game, thinking they were going to win. And Malik Beasley, if you were watching all night long, Malik Beasley was, I mean, all the shimmies, all the, you know, how he was doing exactly what he was doing when he was here hitting threes. And he had 8 threes tonight, so he had a lot to shimmy about. And you thought that they were going to win that basketball game. But of course they didn't. But it's interesting because, again, Brandon Jennings was up the entire night. It was a fun basketball game. I'm sure it was fun if you're in the 5-star form as well. Had to be a lot of fun to be around. But just interesting the interaction. And then, of course, you see the Giannis 3. But, again, this thing started, I think this entire run, if you will, started with the Isaiah Stewart pull down. I see Todd Merrill saying Stu should get suspended for a game for that jersey pull down. What did you guys think about that? Do you think that Isaiah Stewart should be suspended? I'll give you my quick thoughts on it. Again, it was totally unnecessary, totally uncalled for. It was a 2-hand pull down of a jersey where Giannis he's an airborne player. It's 100% suspension worthy. You cannot do, again, I think they were just talking about how many minutes of play or whatever it was that's been missed by star players already this season. It's been a lot. I mean, you go down the list of guys who have missed games already, stars in the league who have missed games already, and the number is high. So when you have that kind of stuff, this ain't like what we saw in Boston where it's a normal contest and we trying to play actual basketball. That was a non-basketball play what we saw. And just absolute bush leaguing. Yeah, Isaiah Stewart should 100% be suspended for it. It just again, are you upset because Giannis is about to go for a career night on you? Are you upset because Giannis is you know, going blow for blow with you in the paint and trying to run you over? That is, and that's why I have a hard time when people say Giannis is dirty. No, that was a dirty play. That's dirty. When Giannis is doing that every night, then I'll listen to your dirty comments. But when you'll be upset when he's playing basketball. That's not basketball, though. What I saw him do is not basketball.
Yeah, look, I think that was everybody. We just actually put out a video about how we don't think Giannis is a dirty player, right? And people are like, oh, well, he's not dirty. He's just reckless. Well, what I saw from Isaiah Stewart tonight that's reckless. That's BS what he did to Giannis. Look, Giannis is a guy who plays the game so fast and he's very aggressive in terms of, you know, getting to the rim and stuff. And when you pull a guy down with that much force, when he's got just as much force going up, like nothing good comes out of that. Very fortunate he was able to get up and obviously continue his career night. But like, look, yes, this is who Isaiah Stewart is. Like we said, he's a menace. With he had the where he was chasing down LeBron, and then he also had the fight in the back room against, who was that? Eubanks, where he punched. Was that Drew Eubanks?
Forgot about that one.
Yeah, like this is who that guy is.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that's who that guy is, and I don't like it. Hopefully, he does get suspended, because at some point you got to learn from it. Like, dude, you can't pull down an NBA superstar by the jersey and just expect everything to be okay. Like, nah.
Yeah, I feel like he's a bum, man. I mean, what is he good at? He's good at fouling. That's what he's most known for in his career, man. Hey, maybe he thought that it was Friday and he was part of that WWE show that's coming to the Pfizer Forum on Friday, because that was some damn WWE BS. Like, it's just no place in basketball about it. I don't care if that was one of our Bucks players doing it to another team or is someone doing it to us. That type of stuff needs to be out of the NBA. You're going to mess around, you're going to hurt somebody, and you're going to end one of these top 75 and 75 players' careers prematurely because you want to be a punk. Why don't you go learn how to play better defense? Why don't you rebound the ball better? Why don't you stop that man? That type of stuff, man, that's not what I call setting the tone in any of that stuff, man. That's just a punk move. He's a punk. Maybe what was your boy? Big dude that DeMarcus Cousins. Was that the boy's name?
Yeah.
They said the boys should fight out there.
Man, he did.
I mean, that's a two-piece extra crispy. Yeah, former Milwaukee Bucks, greatest 15 ever, baby. Hey, that's a fade, dog. That's a fade. He need to fade. You do that on the playground, I'm getting up and I'm swinging.
Wasn't Greg Monroe 15 too?
I said what I said.
Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah. So, yeah, it was whack. In the story, it was whack. Shouldn't happen. You know, that's just kind of stuff that, you know, you can't have it out there. So again, I'm just glad they did the right thing, got him out of the game. Because that he didn't deserve to be there. He didn't want to be there. So, you know, it is what it is. Basketball Reach says went from beating the dick to a Giannis 59 pieces, but okay.
And Justin came from Longwood. So it all works out.
Hey, I gotta turn the comments on, man. Y'all boys wild. Boys wild. I can't even keep a straight face.
It's definitely wild. Always wild in the comments. And then Duck Hash Brown says, I know how you feel about Miz, but man, our bench should have some real punch when Prince is coming off of it with Gary Trent Jr.
And then where does Ryan Rollins fit in that? Because then you got to imagine Dame's coming back here soon. I mean, it's concussion, right? Like,
yeah, well, Ryan Rollins right now is your backup point guard. So I mean, that's how that should, you know, that's where that's gonna work. But yeah, if Gary Trent Jr. has found himself, this team's going is I'm not saying that I don't say they're going places, but you have something if Gary Trent Jr. has found a way to play. And again, that all it takes is hitting a couple. We talked about the other night. He's a jump shooter, right? Like a jump shooter's got to hit jump shots. And so when you're finally hitting jump shots, like that's a thing. Right? Like that's a thing. Yeah. And he did that tonight. And then, like I said, he mixed it in with some great defense. Even that fourth quarter play where, you know, he knocking the ball around and, you know, just so happened that the three got up off of it. Was that his or was that the other? I think was that the three that Marcus Astor got when Gary Trent Jr. deflected it? Yeah. So I mean, again, that was a great play. Just unfortunate that's how it went, but yeah, you know, it was good play. Want to ask you guys about Giannis. Move on to Giannis and the game that he had again, 59. In the night where Wemby had 50 points, and everybody thought that was going to be the story. Giannis came back, did 59, 14, and 7 with 3 blocks. He has stepped up his course of play over the last couple of nights. The first quarter was just, like I said, it literally was high schooler with just random guys around him. And then it didn't look like they were going to pick things up In the second, the Bucks were outscored in the second 33-23. But in the third, like I said, that's where the Bucks found their way again, and really started to make their mark after being down 14 or whatever it was at the half. They outscored the Detroit Pistons by 14. Just from Giannis, the level of domination. And when you look at Detroit, they had Jalen Duren out there trying to defend them for the most part, and it was Isaiah Stewart, and that was the game plan. Like, that was really all that they could do, and those guys were fouling early. It's tough to watch. The Bucks really didn't have like an offense, but they really weren't running a bunch of stuff. It was Giannis coming down, trying to get it to him on the block, or Giannis just running kind of free. So, this was just Giannis just going out, playing one-on-one and beating guys. And again, Giannis could put up 50 every night. The only thing that holds it, because he's averaging, I believe he's averaging right now the most points in the NBA. The only thing holding Giannis back is free throws and then a jump shot, because everything is like at the rim. He has to hit layups and dunks. But tonight he mixed it up. He hit the mid range. I would say I probably saw at least 4 middies from Giannis, at least. And then he hits the 3-ball. So, next middies, 3-ball, and then he's 16-17 from the line in the clutch. And it was in the clutch. It was ran apart. He did not miss. So when Giannis is shooting free throws again, he came into the game shooting 50% from the free throw line. So when he's doing that, it is unstoppable. That's winning basketball. Giannis has been great for this season, but it's hard to lose games when Giannis is playing at that kind of a level, as long as somebody else just gives you anything. What do you think? Again, obviously, trying to put into words what Giannis did. Like, give me just thoughts on Giannis, the level of greatness, and what he displayed. Again, it seems routine because he does it all the time, but what you're seeing is not human. Like, people just don't do that often. Giannis just showing why he's one of the greats.
Well, I see you bedside Gamma in the chat saying Giannis starting to hit that midi with consistency, and we've been kind of advocating for this since last year. Is like, it opens up so much when he's able to knock down shots from outside, the paint, and it makes these defenders have to think twice. And when you think twice on Giannis, the Greek freak, it's not going to end well with you at the rim, because he's just going to sidestep you and dunk you. Like, so it's really dangerous if he's able to knock down the mid-range at a consistent level. And then also it kind of goes hand in hand, like being able to knock down free throws too. Like it brings out the best in Giannis when he's knocking down free throws, not thinking about it. 16-17 is insane. Like, shoot, a lot of people can't do that. So for him to, go out there and knock down 16-17 from the free throw line, it opens up even more, because now they're thinking about fouling. So, yeah, I love it. I love watching that from Giannis. And I want to pose something like, how LeBron's got that look at the ball move and then shoot it? I think Giannis is getting to that with that back you down and then turn around fade on the baseline. That mug is unguardable, and it comes a lot, and he knocks it down. So I love seeing that from Giannis. He's the bags are getting deeper. Took a little while, but it's getting deeper.
I don't know how many accolades we can give this brother, man. He is just beyond special. It's just crazy when myself think about this from all the dudes I've seen in Milwaukee play in my life. I remember sitting there watching Brad Lohaus go up and down the court. You know what I mean? Like, dudes like that. And now we have the greatest player in the NBA. Get at me in the comments. Get at me on the Twitter. Get at me in the mentions if you want smoke. I got it tonight. That brother had 50-something, 14-something, 7 assists, and other dudes was on the court tricking, and he was still finding them and getting them good looks. This dude is special. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about this dude. Like, it's nothing he can't do. He guarded your boy Cunningham at the end of the game, playing good, solid defense on him as well. Like Chris said, man, that mid-range, and like the buddy said in the chat, the mid-range, but then no pause. The balls of steel to pull that 3 and hit it. Yo, like, you're looking at someone they're starting to get into this scary level where all them people going to talk about where we going to be. And I know it's just the Detroit Pistons. I know all that. And I know we 4-8. I understand what our record is. But just to see this effort from a guy when half the team is sitting on there with a nice gear on watching him play, like Trey, like the Guru finna be in Charlotte on Saturday.
Yeah, you about to be there with the jewelry on, watching watching them play on Saturday, watching them in Charlotte at the Spectrum Center. But yeah, no, I'm with you.
He's just special, man. He's just special. Y'all brother said it so eloquently, but he's just special. And stop comparing him to Joker and stuff like that, because Joker ain't running up and down the court doing what all that stuff. He need a water break. That boy played 12 minutes straight in the first quarter. Drop a 20 ball in the first quarter. Isaiah Stewart takes 6 games to average that. Punk. Sorry. Y'all go ahead. I'm mad
Well,
now.
I'll also say, like, when people factor in the best player in the world conversation, they seem to forget about defense. And Giannis is just doing it in every which way. You see it on the last possession, getting up there, blocking Ron Holland. It was a block. It wasn't a foul. You see, like we talked about, you see him guarding on ball against a young rising star in this league that hit some big shots down the stretch in this game, and Giannis is willing to take that challenge. So, look, I mean, I agree wholeheartedly. I think he's the best player in the league, best two-way player in the league, best defender in the league. No matter how many blocks or rebounds Rudy Gobert continuously gets,
I mean, again, you mentioned it. Like, how many times I've seen him against Cade Cunningham, but switch on to Cade, switch on to the in late game situations in that overtime, in that fourth quarter, and get a stop. I thought Giannis is, and I think in some part that's where he's, if you want to give him some issues where he's maybe struggled a bit, because really he's a much better off ball defender, but on his on ball defense sometimes he gets a little handsy, a little grabby. And I thought he was great in those moments as well. Like, everything about his game tonight was good. I saw somebody in the chat say that they're saying he hit 10 mid-rangers, and it's crazy. Now I think about it. Yeah, I was really just thinking about excuse me, I was really just thinking about the straight pull-ups. Like you said, you talked about the fadeaways from the base. I'm talking about when he just walk up and kind of look at you and it's like, oh, you're not coming up? Oh, okay. And just pull it like straight up, straight on from 14, 15 feet. He was hitting those too. And so, when he has all that going, like you talking about, this bag is deep and he's hitting the free throws. Again, he's unguardable. He's unstoppable. And your best defense is to foul him and to hope that instead of him going 16 of 17, that he's going 9 of 17. And oh, by the way, you win 127. You win by 7. If he's 9 of 17 instead of 16 of 7, my math might be off, but you get where I'm going with it. It's a much different ball game when he's missing half of his free throws versus hitting them. So again, just I don't know what, and that's, I don't know. Go ahead. I don't even know what it is, because I've heard some people say, well, from a free throw perspective, he's got to shoot him. Just go out and shoot him. There were plenty of times tonight where it was. I mean, I stopped watching. He was on the line at 10, 11 seconds the entire night shooting free throws. So again, I don't know there's a rhyme or reason why he makes them versus why he misses them. But tonight, the Bucks are fortunate he made them.
So Dave Kane was describing some of those pull-up jump shots as those are the ones where you're like, no, Giannis too early in the shot. Oh, but he's making them, and you can't get mad at it. I think with Giannis with the free throws, it's kind of like a golfer with the putts, man. You just got to walk out there like when Tiger was in his prime making everything. You got to walk out there and know you're going to make it. Stop thinking about if I miss or anything else like that. But the last thing I want to say about Giannis, and I hope the homie in Hawaii, Kavika, is listening. Kavika, this is why I get so pissed off at that conversation about trade Giannis for Chet Holmgren, one of them Williams boys, and a couple first-round picks. We ain't just talking about Milwaukee's never seen anything like this. The entire NBA has never seen anything like this. Hey, LeBron is in a GOAT conversation depending on when you're born. He's not my GOAT. I hate that dude down there at 94 South in Chicago, but that's my GOAT. But real quick, I can't say there's a GOAT, right? Everyone's the best of their generation, but LeBron is an amazing dude. Sorry, Chris King, I'm on one now. But LeBron is amazing. But he didn't check dudes the way that Giannis does. Please fight me over it.
And you would certainly have liked to see Giannis check more more players. Like, I mean, we look back at Jimmy Butler owning Drew Holiday in those series. Like, you would have liked to have Giannis on those guys. But at this point, I mean, hopefully Doc is giving him the free reign to kind of check the best players on opposing teams because he's more than capable of doing it.
Facts.
Yeah, he absolutely is. Iron Man Clan TV says we have a once-in-a-generation talent. We have to get the team right around him. Bedside Gamer says Cunningham ain't an easy guard either. That man can ball. He can rip off anyone most of the time. Again, I thought that Ajax did a tremendous job on Cade for long stretches of the game. I want to get to this question here that medical drug dealer poses, and he says, to be fair, Giannis shouldn't have to play like it's Game 6 of the NBA Finals for us to win. This isn't a good sign. So I want to ask this. So basically, a 60-point night from Giannis, 21-34, 59, 14, and 7. Do you think this was a good? I mean, are you agreeing with medical drug dealer? This was a bad sign that Giannis had to do this against the Detroit Pistons. Is this? I mean, obviously the game was a positive, but I think what he's getting at is, oh man, if this is what it takes to beat a Detroit, and again, I don't think Detroit, they're much better than they were last year. They have more talent, and I think, again, they have some guys out tonight, but I think they have a lot more fight. They have a lot more direction than they have than when Monty Williams, like we talked about, was stealing money. But is this a bad thing that this is what it takes for the Bucks to win games?
Well, sometimes throughout the course of an NBA season, this is what it takes to just win a back-to-back, when you're having a tough season to start. Like, with guys out, Damian Lillard's not there, Ryan Rollins isn't there, you have no point guard, DeLon Wright's trash right now. Like, sometimes this is what it takes to just get back on the board when you are facing the back-to-back. And then I'll also say, like, Giannis and Dame are looking the best that it's ever looked. Last season didn't look hot at all. But also, yes, we haven't seen it in the playoffs, so we'll kind of see how it works and throughout a full season once Dame gets back on the court, if they're able to keep going. But you had guys out. And sometimes you need somebody to propel you to a victory, and I think Giannis did it tonight, and sometimes you need that from a NBA superstar. We saw – I remember when he hit his career high last year. They didn't have Dame, but Giannis was able to will them to a victory over the Pacers. Like, sometimes that's just how it has to go to get back in the win column and or continue your first win streak of the season.
Hey, Chris King, DeLon Wright had 8 assists tonight and 1 turnover.
Well, it helps you out there with a guy dropping 59.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you passed the ball on a break to Giannis.
I could have got some assists too. Yeah.
Y'all gotta give Mr. Wright a little bit of a.
No, I don't.
I did. I say a good job, but I did. He get it. I did. Hey, look, man.
You can get it from me.
Hey, the best way that you can be a leader is not just say it with your mouth, but go out there and do it. Giannis led by example tonight. He did not let this team go to 3-9. He wasn't trying to mess with those 2000 and 2001 Bucks. He told the city of Milwaukee. He showed the NBA world, I will not lose. And he didn't. And even he beat 5 players and he beat 3 referees tonight. Call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
And you're right, Chris. You got to go out there and you got to hoop and you got to show these dudes you got to carry them sometimes. We'll have a game where Dame will carry us too. We'll have a game where Brook Lopez will carry us. We'll have a game where hopefully a Gary Trent will go crazy, a Taurean Prince will go crazy. This is, like Chris said, it's 82 games. Every night is going to be somebody different. But the one thing that's consistent is this dude being where he is. And I'm going to say it again. He the best in the league right now. Fight me.
Yeah, no, it was an incredible performance. When you're watching Giannis do what he does in a 127-120 victory over the Pistons. Let's keep moving here, and I want to ask you the next topic we have is found a fight. And we know Giannis found a fight, but I want to get to some of these other guys. When I look at a Brook Lopez and some of the things he brought, it wasn't just the scoring. Because Brook Lopez put us, but it wasn't the scoring. To me, it was everything else that went into this. Again, and now the scoring, it didn't hurt that you had another guy put up almost 30 points in Brook Lopez and Gary Trent Jr. find himself offensively. But it was being able to create and move off the ball. Like Gary Trent Jr. looked like, when I say he found himself, Gary Trent Jr. looked like he found confidence in his game a bit. Taurean Prince, took the three in the. I mean, he was but he's taking those threes with confidence, and he finished 3 of 8 from 3. I know he missed the one in the corner that could have won the game. Yeah, you know, they could have won the basketball game. But you know, it is what it is. That was a good shot. He looked like he was ready to take it. I actually, when I watched the play, I actually believe that Pat had a better shot. I think the play probably was supposed to go to Prince when they knew that if they got the look that he wanted and knew Giannis was going to kick out. I think that Prince kind of, I guess that's where it was supposed to go. You want the corner three. But Pat, I thought, would have had the super non-contested, because at least somebody's flying at Prince. But I thought Pat would have been like, nobody would have flown to Pat off. Pat could have shot the ball if he wanted to. But that's neither here nor there. I just feel like other guys seem more confident, like Ajax in his defense. And we know that he flies around. But Ajax, again, we talked about it before, where Ajax is a defender that is a little bit wild. To me, Ajax was under control. So he had a nice play under the basket where he's in the dunker spot, and instead of looking to pass, he's under the basket. It's like, go up and dunk the basketball. I think there was one where he probably should have shot the ball. He should shoot the ball a little bit more if they're leaving you open. But Gary Jr., not just a shot, but everything around it. And then defense from Brook Lopez. You saw some big time blocks. You saw a huge block on Cade Cunningham. You saw some times in transition where a lot of times the Bucks would just give up. And that's what I mean, when you find fight, it's not, oh, they're in transition. All right, whatever. We all good. It's 2 points. Let's go back on. No, let's go up and contest and see if we can get a block, see if we can get a rebound, and get back and get the ball back, and not give up any points. Let's get a foul here and make them earn at the free throw line instead of giving up an open, uncontested layup or whatever it is. I thought the Bucks did more of that. And again, it really started after Isaiah Stewart pulled down Giannis. I thought at that point, when they found themselves like, okay, we can win the game. We're in the game. We might as well go win it. And I thought from that point on, it seemed like a different spark and a different energy in the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, especially against a team that seemingly had answers for everything you were doing late in that fourth quarter. Like, you were able to build a little bit of a lead, and then they come down 1 second left on the shot clock and drill it. Desperation heave. Cade Cunningham takes a deep contested three, and it just drops. And there was no quit. There was still no quit. Like, a lot of times you see with this Bucks team in some of these losses where it's like, oh, man, that they just gave up a big shot. I don't know if we're going to be able to create on offense. But when you have Giannis going for 59, you have, Brook going for near 30, and you have Taurean Prince out there looking like he's confident enough to take whatever shot comes to him and get to the rim and not just be a 3-and-D guy, get to the rim, make a layup, a big layup here and there, and Gary Trent Jr. knocking down open ones, knocking down shots, being a scorer that we need when we don't have Dame and Ryan Rollins out. I have no complaints. I do think they turned the tide a little bit. I think the confidence is there, and to be able to answer so much after the Pistons just wouldn't go away, and especially to come out after you thought maybe you were headed to the showers. You might have thought you were headed to the showers. And then in overtime, you threw the first punch and never looked back. And this is to, like we say, to complete the first win streak of the season. Let's keep going. Let's do this again. Let's stack some wins here. Let's get back to that 500 mark that we want. And I think this team could do it, get some guys healthy. And look, the pieces are falling where they may. And maybe you're starting to see rotations take shape with who's performing and who's not.
Yeah, man, I thought it's a solid performance from everybody outside of Giannis on the floor. I mean, when you look at our bench, you look at the plus minuses, right? Yeah. Biggest plus minus of the night goes to Milwaukee's most hated dude, Pat Connaughton, plus 24. Then you got Andre Jackson Jr. is a plus 23, and Gary Trent Jr. is a plus 18. This is the Gary Trent Jr. we expected to come to Milwaukee, though. And he's stepping up and he's showing. Now, granted, Brook may not have had the best first half. Gary Trent Jr. didn't have the best first half. Pat maybe had lapses and stuff like that. But the fact is, they still they rose above that. They kind of rose from the ashes like a phoenix and found a way to win this basketball game, man. Like, look, and I see Pat getting the hate that he's getting because he's at the end with his closeout stuff or whatever. He's still a plus 24 on this floor. So that lead, but I want to pause one moment. I got to give credit to Doc Rivers. That final play he drew up was spectacular. The only thing that didn't happen was Prince didn't make the shot. And it was a good shot. So we bang on Doc when he makes dumb decisions, and we tell him that it's stupid, and we want to fire him. We want to fire Horse right now. Horse first round stuff. I mean, that's debatable. Chris King gonna light him a new one. We know it's coming. But with some of these dudes that we got out here, these dudes can hoop, and right now we hooping. So in the words of the philosopher Chris King, the best Dayton brother I know, let's build on this win. Keep this win streak going. Milwaukee Brewers got free cheeseburgers with 12 wins, so we need to get some like free Rocky Rococos with 13 Bucks wins or something, man. Let's go. Hey, we up tonight.
We are up, man. We are up 127-120 victory. I don't know what I just thought about, but you mentioned the wrestling on Friday night. They had LA Knight at the arena, and like I mean it literally felt like nobody knew who the hell he was. Like they had him like doing cutting some type of promo, and people were like, well, there's no reaction.
Who's LA Knight
was doing. That's what they was doing.
It's like that.
I'm from the Mike Tyson generation.
Huh?
It's like
I'm from the Mike Tyson generation.
Nah, I'm talking about worldwide wrestler. What wrestlers did you grow up on?
Oh man,
right.
Break that glass. Stone Cold run out. Okay. Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan before he got the black beard.
Yeah. Okay. Hollywood Hulk. Okay. All that. NWO with stuff. Yeah, they didn't know who. They did not seem like they knew who LA Knight was. But that's on some new school stuff for them. But you know where to be when it's time to be there. It's Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill, proud sponsor of the Cream City crossover. Please go out to Curly's Waterfront Bar and Grill. If you are in Milwaukee, you want to go out there, go to Pewaukee, Lakeview Boulevard. You know what they're doing on Wednesday, so I'm guessing they were doing it tonight. Wednesday was bingo night. Tomorrow night, go out there for some trivia, and you know what you can get if you go out there and do well in that trivia and do well in that bingo.
Bucks tickets.
Bucks tickets. Section 102, row 23. You know what seats they are?
What's that?
1 and 2. I believe that's on the aisle. So if you got to get the bathroom, whenever you want to get your drinks, go ahead and get up there. Go to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill, section 102, row 23, seats 1 and 2. Get your Bucks tickets. Tell them the Guru and Cream City crossover sent you. Also, all televised Milwaukee Bucks games, which is one less now because the Bucks got flexed out of a TV spot. But for all televised Milwaukee Bucks games, $3 bottles and pints out there at Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. And they're doing a bourbon raffle. Lots of bourbon. They're doing to benefit the Pewaukee Food Pantry. One raffle, 12 winners. Tickets can be purchased the entire month of November, $5 each, or $10 or 10 tickets for $40. The winners will be drawn and notified on Monday, December 2nd. 100% of the ticket sales will be donated directly to the food pantry. So please go out to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Support the Pewaukee Food Pantry. And also got some good wings, got good food, good drinks, everything. All of that, all the above right there. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill.
Hey, y'all better go out there and get them tickets because hey, yesterday price ain't today price. Chris King said we on a win streak, so better go get them tickets before they get up there.
Yeah.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. Let's read some comments from the Twitter. At Justin MKE said just one win in, I don't know, whatever his name is. The team is better. Oh my God. The first comment, I gotta vet these. The team is better without Dame is my take. Giannis wanted this game bad. Like that, he didn't go for 60 at the end and was satisfied just getting the W. The team needed that. By the way, was Dame even at the game? Didn't see him on the Bucks broadcast. That's a terrible. I don't like that.
Hey, tell that boy Curly's. Let me get that bourbon now. After that comment, man.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Get us a bottle, man.
No, and I want to answer. Medical drug dealer. Are they nosebleeds? No, these again section. What I say? Section 123.
100.
Yeah, no, this on the lower level, baby. No, I listen. I wouldn't promo nothing if they was nosebleeds. I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't do that to you.
He better go put that stuff on when he go to the game because they're gonna see you out there. You better put your fit on.
Yeah, you need to have your best fit on. No, these are section 102, row 23, seats 1 and 2. Nah, you ain't gonna be in the nosebleeds, man. I ain't gonna take it. I wouldn't do that to you. At He Manson says Giannis is the MVP. I know that's gonna dominate the talk, so I don't really need to discuss further. But I buried the season tonight until Gary Trent Jr. rolls like the Undertaker. I think if this season turns, that will be an understated, huge moment considering the night Giannis had. But this game turned with the rise of Trent. I don't disagree with that at all. I thought Gary Trent Jr. was a huge player in this game. At Ridiculous says, Rick Ridiculous says, whatever the budget was for Doc to go on recruiting trips needs to be duplicated to get Brandon Jennings courtside every night. Do you think BJ helped the team out? Do you think he was a big part in that?
I don't know if he helped the team, but I love the support that Brandon Jennings brings to the Milwaukee Bucks. I feel like he's the only – I mean, I wouldn't even call him national media, but the only guy who former Buck that played in the NBA that's on these podcasts that actually gives the Milwaukee Bucks the respect that they deserve.
Yeah, he rides for the city, man. It's always young money, young buck, tough crowd, Bucks and 6, all that stuff, man. It's for the culture.
It's for the culture. Mr.
Brandon need a front row seat for the rest of the year, man. Matter of fact, get a boy warm-up shirt.
Yeah, I thought he was fun. He was having some fun. It was fun out there seeing him. At Drew Barrett says, it's funny to say this after beating the Detroit Pistons, but maybe this is the win that turns the Bucks season around. At David Ponder says, were Dame or Chris in the building? I didn't see either one of them I didn't see either one of those two. I didn't see Bobby Portis. The only person who was out that I saw was Rollins was on the bench. I didn't see any of those other guys on the bench. At C3, that dude Clark says Doc subbing out AJ Green was massive. If he's not hitting shots, he's a liability against athletic guards like Cade. I agree. Again, and that's why I got to give Doc Rivers some credit because AJ Green, he was Cade a lot of it, and Cade had a nice night. He put up 30 points. A lot of them were on AJ Green. And when he would get switched up, I think he got switched on Brook a couple times too. They really weren't on Ajax. I thought Ajax did a really good job on Cade. And yeah, AJ Green struggled just a little bit tonight and didn't hit the shots. Few more here from Twitter. Go ahead. What's up?
Can we pause that though? Because I feel like AJ Green's y'all don't think AJ Green's played good defense this entire year. Tonight may not have been his night, but he's tough, man. If he's not hitting shots, he's doing everything that he can do to win.
That's a good point. He has tonight. He didn't. Yes, that's a good point. So I think you're right. He typically does tonight, and I think that the commenter's point there was bigger athletic guards like a Cade, maybe more of a struggle for AJ Green. But yeah, I think overall you're correct there. AJ Green does a lot of the other things. He's a really good wing perimeter defender for the most part. At the Wisconsin Kid says this is the Brook Lopez we need. At Light Seraph says Giannis is the best, man. We got to continue spreading out the word. This game showed why we still need Brook. The only players who should play are the ones who will live and die with Giannis. Giannis is the Bucks' identity, period. Everybody fall in line or get the F out. And we'll do one more. At GA_hoop says Giannis Sina Ugo out to the Kumpo. Give him the whole man's first, middle, and last. Says this is the baddest MFer in the NBA. I hope the sport media will talk about his greatness instead of trying to push him away from Milwaukee. Also, shout out to Uncle Brook Lopez. So there we go. Good stuff, man. Good stuff in the comments. At One Punch Man on the YouTube says the Bucks had to get rid of all that negative energy. They did. They looked like they got rid of a lot of it. And tonight was it was a big night. It could, like I said, I think this could be a turning point. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was to the end. And again, you saw a gritty win from the Milwaukee Bucks, who again had all the reason down 17-18 to kind of let go of the rope, but they could have. They didn't do it. They find a way to get a win, 127-120, at least stop the bleeding for now. 2 back-to-back wins. And guys, I don't think I have to ask this question, but game balls. Where are you going with your game balls? Listen, it's going to Giannis. I'm not even going to be too long. 59-14-7. Mine's going to Giannis. I mean, I'll say this. I was thinking about this when the Bucks were down. I was like, man, this is gonna be the first time because you know me, I only give game balls to winners. I was gonna give it to Giannis tonight in a loss. But Bucks found a way to win 127-120.
Yeah, and the difference is between this one and the career high versus the Pacers, we're actually going to give him the real game ball. We're not going to take it to the locker room, so I hope he has it. Yeah, I mean, look, Giannis, we beating it until, what is it, beating the dead horse or whatever? Like, beating it until it's blue in the face, pause. But, yeah, like, he's I'm just amazed every time I watch that man take the floor. The effort's always there, and he changes games, and that's what you need from Giannis. And like we talked about, love seeing him put on for the city, and just further state that he wants to be here.
Yeah, man, definitely for sure, Giannis. But he got enough game balls, pause. So I'm gonna go ahead on and I'm gonna pass that thing to Doc Rivers tonight, man. I thought this was one of his best coaching performances since he's became a Milwaukee Bucks coach, man. And obviously Giannis deserves a game ball, but I think Doc did a lot of things to make sure that we ensure this win. And so I'll go half Giannis, half Doc.
I also wonder when it's talk about Doc Rivers, and again, I agree with you. He had a real nice, like I said, probably one of his better games as a coach. Do you think because his hands were tied that made it much easier? Like he didn't have the option of Bobby Portis, he didn't have the option. Again, Damian Lillard's not a bad option, but he didn't have options to do a lot of other things, and so his hands were kind of just tied, especially when you don't have. Like I said, because who knows? He could have been playing Bobby over a lot of guys that maybe shouldn't have been in the game. That he would have given a chance to, but didn't do it. Didn't have an opportunity to. I'm thinking of I can't think of who else he would have played over Gary Trent Jr. But giving Gary Trent Jr. keeping him, allowing him the opportunity to make sure that he stayed in the game and played. Oh well, I think it was a good move. Like I said, bringing out AJ Green wasn't playing as well. Gary Trent Jr. absolutely deserved to finish out the game. But do you think it has something to do with so many guys out? Doc not having a lot of options.
Yeah, for sure. And sometimes with your hands being tied behind your back, that's a good way to look what we can have for the rest of the year. Shout out to Brody in the chat. I mean, my vision ain't the best, but it's Iron Man Clan TV. He said that Brook Lopez deserves some of that game ball too, and I think he's absolutely right. Can't forget about Brook, but not just Doc, the entire coaching staff though, right? Like that game was well coached, man. And I see the Brody, my homie Terry, the Hornets dude in here. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll get him in a second. I want to comment on Brook Lopez too tonight. Like playing these young, athletic bigs, you have to produce on the offensive end as well. And he did it tonight. Like, there were some times where I felt like he was slow in the drop and Duran dunked on him hard, but it didn't matter. Like, Brook was out there and still making his presence felt. Next possession, blocking shots, and doing his thing. So, yeah, I agree. We should give Brook his props as well.
Yeah, all those guys, man, did an excellent job. Outstanding for the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. They win it 127. 120. Iron McClay TV says Doc almost lost the game with the Pat C stuff. But again, I thought the idea was right. And to me, it's that you're coaching offense for defense. The execution of it sometimes you don't doesn't always work out, but he was coaching basketball tonight. So again, I appreciate it. I appreciated what he was doing there. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, so we'll get to it. Okay, good. I see what you're talking about there, Justin. I just didn't see it on my screen, so we good. Go ahead. All right, I ain't go that far with you on no. I ain't gonna go nowhere on the Pat Connaughton jersey with you. But that's how we do it. Chris, let me know when we have Terry, and we'll and we have him. Okay, you let me know when we have him. We'll do something special for you guys. We're gonna have our guy Terry join us and talk a little bit about this upcoming matchup with the Charlotte Hornets that the Bucks have. But we'll do a little look around before we get to that. And Chris, let me know. The Bucks do win it 127-120 over the Detroit Pistons. Final in overtime. The Sacramento Kings 127-104 over the Suns. The Trailblazers up right now by 8 over the Timberwolves, Lakers, and Memphis in a dogfight 1-point game on ESPN. The Magic beat the Pacers tonight. Thunder beat the Pels tonight. The Cavaliers 13-0 beat the Philadelphia 76ers. They are rolling 100%. The Chicago Bulls get a win over the Knicks. Boston Celtics are 10-3, 139-114 over the Nets. The Spurs, Wemby put up 50. It's again, this is gonna be talk about a guy who's league. You talk about the best player in the world, all that kind of stuff. It's could be Wemby's league in some point here. He put up 50. He put up 50 of them things.
Get wins like that. I mean, same difference.
There you go. There you go.
All right, do we have Terry's audio? Terry, got you?
Muted, bro.
Do we have it? Oh, I don't think
so. Check your mic settings. We'll get back to you in that little settings thing.
All right, yeah, we'll check on it. But yeah, that's a funny point you made there, Justin. And then yeah, the Rockets do beat the Clippers tonight, 111 to 103. The Bucks do face the Charlotte Hornets Saturday afternoon. There we go. I got him. There we go. So Saturday afternoon, matinee basketball game. I think it's 3 p.m. Eastern. And we have I'm sorry, I didn't get our guy Terry joining us from. So show me. Go get your plugs off for what you got going with the Horn. I'm with you. I see the Panther stuff in the background, so we do got something because I'm with the Panthers. I'm with you all the way on that one. I'm just not with you on the Hornet stuff. But let us give us a little bit of background, plug your stuff, and then let us know what we can expect from the Charlotte Hornets, LaMelo Ball and them boys Saturday afternoon.
What's good, y'all? My name is Terry. I host Buzz Boys podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at Buzz Boys 919 and YouTube at Buzz Boys podcast. Personally, I think this game is going to be close. I think it might be ugly. To be honest, no disrespect at all. Y'all just had a ugly game versus the Pistons. We just had a ugly game versus the Orlando Magic. We both got injuries, and I think it's going to be a classic game of ass versus ass. It's going to be Giannis and LaMelo. They're going to put up their big numbers, and it's going to come down to what role players can be X factors and help their team. In the Orlando Magic game, Melo had 35. Brandon Miller goes out, shoots 16%. Nobody steps up, does anything except for like Grant Williams, Musa Diabate. That's not going to be enough. I know for y'all, Giannis goes out, had 60 points, damn near triple double. You go to overtime with the Pistons. It's going to be a good game. I'm going to lie. Don't come to role players for sure.
Let me ask you one question. And because I've seen Grant Williams, and to me, the limited amount that I've seen Grant, in Charlotte especially, at least looks like he plays some small ball 5 for you guys. He's looks decent in doing what he does. I just want to know because there was a back last year before the trade deadline. The talk was Bobby Portis for. I just want to get Bobby Portis for Grant Williams. I just want to get your perspective from an opposing fan standpoint. It would, if somebody told you, "Hey, we could trade off 1-on-1 Bobby Portis for Grant Williams." I'm not doing salary. I'm just talking about straight up. If somebody told you Bobby Portis for Grant Williams, would you say yes? I'd rather have Bobby Portis on my team versus Grant Williams.
It's funny because we were talking about it the other day. We were talking about that the other day, and he told me that Bobby Portis has been playing like ass. But off face value, I might say, yeah, I'll probably do that. But I don't watch the Bucks. You look at stats, 13 points, 8 rebounds, only 24 minutes. Cool. But I do see 24% from 3. Disgusting. So I don't know. That's something off face value sounds good. Has a ring, but I like Grant does for us right now. Grant's a good defender. Even on guys way bigger than him. He's guarded 7-footer. He makes him uncomfortable. I don't know because he's a little tubby. I don't know, but it works and he scores for us. So right now, I'll keep Grant. Somebody I could dispose of off my team, Josh Green.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all want Josh Green, come get him. He plays defense, but that's it. That's all he does.
Okay.
I don't know if we want him, big dog.
Hey, he's like a 46% 3-point shooter.
Okay, so the 3 and D. Go ahead, Justin.
Hey, look, man. If you in this Raleigh Durham area and you need them hot shit on your feet, excuse for all my, you go see that Brody Terry. He keep my old ass fresh.
Yeah, tap in social status. Come down, shop. We got leases. Yeah, come get over for retail.
Real quick, Terry, I'm Chris. Nice to meet you, and looking forward to Saturday. Listen, Brandon Miller, I want to talk about him, man, because there was a mixed reaction of picking him over Scoot Henderson in the draft a couple years ago. But it seems like he's really lived up to this hype, and he's really becoming a great player in this league, and he can become a great player in this league. Just what is the reaction to Brandon Miller's performances throughout his career so far out there in Charlotte?
I love Brandon Miller. I think he has all the talent, the upside in the world. And time when he's hot, you look at the team and say, "Yo, is this his team?" Especially with him out so much last year, it was pretty much Brandon Miller and Miles Bridges. That's what we had. So time where Brandon's going crazy, looking like, "Yo, he's 1A," but LaMelo playing like MVP this year, so it's kind of like, but I love him. He plays defense. The Paul George comparisons are definitely there. Definitely Indiana PG actually better at this stage of his career, honestly, because it took PG a couple of years. He was behind Danny Granger. It took a minute. Brandon hooping like out the gate. So I love him. I actually wish he would be more aggressive, especially since Charles Lee came in. Our offense is definitely predicated around shooting a lot of threes. And Coach kind of talked about it. Brandon Miller not shooting as much mid-range. I don't know how I feel about that because it's his bread and butter. He gets to the midi, it's automatic. Last night, he goes 1 for 11 from 3. He's 6'8". I don't need that. 6'8", 6'9". And I think he might be 6'10". When he takes pictures with taller players, it's like, what is this kid's real height? But I don't want to turn him into – I see comparisons like we're turning him into a Reggie Miller instead of a Paul George. And, I mean, Reggie Miller's still a hell of a player.
Yeah.
If he turns out to be Reggie Miller, cool. But I don't know. I want to see him keep attacking, get downhill, get to the free throw line. But he's young. Got to keep expanding the game, going through coaching changes, you know. But I love bright spot for sure. And Scoot, he looks bad. So he definitely made a pick.
Yeah.
Hey,
100%. Go ahead, Justin.
Can I ask a follow-up question? And Chris King, that's why you the MVP. This media stuff, like, you do it. Hey, but Terry, I got one question, man.
Yes, sir.
Do Brandon Miller know who my dude Chris Middleton is yet? Because we might got breaking news on the Cream City crossover, but I feel like if Chris gonna come back, he better come back Saturday and drop 30 on that boy.
I don't know. He was telling me about that. I didn't know that Brandon Miller said he didn't know who he was, but I don't know. He be out, bro.
He be out, right?
It's the same thing, though.
Yeah.
Taylor Parsons goes on whatever network he's on. He was talking the other day about people don't know who LaMelo Ball is.
Yes.
He plays for the Hornets.
What?
LaMelo is top 10 in Jersey sales. Has millions of followers. We all know he was 14 years old. But when you don't play, people forget about it. People start saying disrespectful stuff, crazy stuff. So it's like the best availability, just follow with a little bit.
We say it all the time. Terry, appreciate you for being available. Buzz Boys. Go check them out. Charlotte Hornets. All content info there. Appreciate you for joining us tonight, Terry. Man, really good stuff. As the Bucks take on the Charlotte Hornets this Saturday, it's gonna be a fun game. Well, Terry says it's gonna be ugly, but we'll see how it plays out.
Is Dame playing? Or is he still in the concussion protocol?
He is in concussion. I think he should 3 days. You should be ready to play. I'm assuming he's going to play on Saturday because I think they thought he was going to play tonight, but I'm hoping he's out of concussion protocol on Saturday. Bucks will need him 100%. And again, you talk about the Milwaukee Bucks. the guy I put on LaMelo Ball, Ajax. I want to see Ajax on every top tier guard now, just terrorizing guys. I mean, he did a great job on Cade tonight.
That's our rookie.
Second year guy.
UConn guy
out of UConn.
Okay, so, I'm not familiar. I'm looking. Oh no, he wears number 44. Yep. I see him because I be thinking he's Justin Jackson from UNC. I be seeing him and I be like, oh, he's back in the league, and then
we got 20 seconds time out, Justin Jackson.
Justin Jackson was a part of that group project, right? 2021.
Yeah, he was on the Bucks. So when I see him, I'm like, oh shoot, Justin Jackson. And then it's not him, but okay, I'm familiar with him.
Yeah, we gonna be there.
Melo probably going deep front. I ain't gonna lie.
All right, we're gonna see about that.
Because he dropped Drew a couple times. Y'all put Drew on.
I remember that.
Now LaMelo definitely gonna cook. But the thing is, bro, and like we talked about last week, man, all your bigs hurt. And
exactly.
Big G man coming in there. And he got something to prove like little baby. He coming.
Grant finna locked up. Hey, y'all gonna know who Abate is by the end of the game. Grant Williams. We gonna put Tubby on him.
All right. Yeah, good luck with that. Grant did. I will say Grant has some decent games against him in Boston, but the difference was you had Al Horford back there. You had Rob Williams sometimes on the backside trying to clean up too. You had wing defenders as well that were a little rangy. Could also even when, because I think he was there with Marcus Smart, who was all. You just had a lot of things you could throw at him. I don't know the Straw's going to be able to do that. It's truly going to be one-on-one. You're not going to have nobody else coming to help and save the day. Grant, you're going to be on that island, big dog.
They putting Grant on Giannis?
I don't know who we're going to put out there.
Hey, Chris King.
Definitely probably going to be Grant. We've been starting Todd Gibson, bro. We're cooked.
we putting David Robinson numbers on Grant Williams, big dog.
He might, bro. It's going to be Musa Diabate and Grant Williams on him. I'm already knowing.
Yeah, if y'all, and it's always when you get those big numbers like you saw tonight, it's always whether Giannis hits the free throws. So if he hits the free throws, it's gonna be a long night. If not, as long as Charlotte can hit the threes, and LaMelo can cook, and Brandon Miller can cook as well. Yeah, you'll see. I think you'll see Taurean Prince on Brandon Miller is my guess.
We need Trey Man cook.
Trey Man can ball too.
6 man of the year candidate.
Trey Man can ball. Absolutely.
And it's AI cosplay.
AI cosplay is crazy. I love it, man. Again, we appreciate you for joining us tonight. Let's wrap this thing up, fellas. Man, any final words on the Bucks winning 127-120 over the Detroit Pistons before we get out of here?
Go ahead, Justin. You good?
Hey, man, it's just a good win, man. Like, we ain't been doing this a lot. So we got to get these wins when we can get them, man. And, shout out to the young homie Terry, man, with his Buzz City Buzz Boys. Make sure y'all go follow that. Hey, the brother has good stuff, and he don't just talk about just Hornet stuff, man. He talk about all NBA stuff, man, and he knows his stuff, man. We're going to have to get him on after the game and see who will catch the smoke, though.
Yeah, I'll say a couple closing thoughts. I think Terry, a little bit of context missing. Obviously, we had some guys out. We did go to OT with the Pistons, but, hey, the first win streak of the season, like we talked about, we got to continue, and I think you got a good opportunity to do it on Saturday.
Absolutely. For me, man, I think the Bucks are just going to, just got to keep this up. 2 games back-to-back, on a back-to-back. You get a win. You needed it, especially you're looking at 4-8. You just gotta keep the wins got to stack up. And again, there was some we ain't talk about it. It's a Wednesday night. We already going on. It's a big game. It's fun. Because I had plans to get into the comments that Doc Rivers made about Chris Middleton, but we'll say that for another time. No idea when he's coming back. And when you don't have an idea when Chris Middleton is coming back, injuries pile up to other guys. You have no idea, just how things are gonna, all of a sudden, boom, Ryan Rollins is out. All of a sudden, boom, Dame is getting hit. He's out. All of a sudden, Bobby Portis comes up with an injury. A lot of people thought that was a fake injury, and Bobby Portis was potentially going to be traded. And so people were looking at some different things that are taking place there. But throughout it all, you just have to stay calm, win basketball games. That's what this is about. And again, Giannis, I saw him go down. He bumped knees with somebody tonight. You just never know. I think somebody said on Twitter, like Giannis plays like a guy who, this may be his last time ever playing basketball. And that's the type of energy and the passion that you want to see from Giannis. You saw it tonight. Bucks win it 127-120 in overtime. It was fun. We want to see more of that. Want to see it again on Saturday against the Charlotte Hornets. See if the Bucks can pull 3 wins in a row. They get 3 wins in a row, get to 5-8. I think a lot of people start to change the tune just a little bit on the Milwaukee Bucks and what they have going on. Again, we appreciate all of you guys for listening to us, watching us tonight at the Cream City Crossover, whether you watch on YouTube or Twitter. It's late on a Wednesday night. Bucks got to win, but hey, man, you can be anywhere in the world. You're here with us right here at the Triple C's, the Cream City Crossover. I want to thank our sponsors tonight, Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Go down there in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Get your drinks, get your food, all of that. The good folks down there at Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Tell them the Guru sent you. Tell them the Cream City Crossover sent you. This has been a Cream City Media Group production from the Guru, Trey Crosby III.
Chris King.
Justin.
Appreciate Terry as well and Buzz, the Buzz Boys. Man, Bucks win it 127-120. Tell a friend to hit the like button if you like what you heard tonight. Appreciate Jay Stroh in the super chat. If you can, tell a friend to tell another friend about the Cream City Crossover. Like, subscribe, all of that stuff. If I am your enemy, it's only because I dare to tell you.